Hello, I've just read the newest Warriors book from Starless Clan, Warriors Wind. This is actually the first time that I've caught up to these series. Oh my god, there's so many books. But I want to start with the prologue. Up to this point, Splash Tales and Crowfeather's plan was a bit of a mystery. Like, how would Splash Tail be leader? They're very young, don't even have a apprentice. Curlfeather, like how was she involved? And the prologue, it's very nice. We get a nice discussion between the two of what they're planning, what they're plotting, and why Splashtail decided to ultimately betray Curlfeather. And then we get right up where we started with the cliffhanger in the last book of Frostpaw going to the clan gathering and exposing Splashtail, and I was so frustrated, y'all, because we left it on a cliffhanger, like, oh, we have some juicy drama, and there's so many information left out. I don't know why Frostpaw didn't mention the part cats, the meditators and all that. It would explain so much. Like, yes, these cats, they knew Riverstar, and I got a message from Riverstar. But, Wasp and Waffle, they're just kind of there. Until, some cat mentioned, hey, who are these two random cats we haven't seen before? It was just, oh my god. Like, the, like, Frostpaw's whole intermission was just being bombarded by questions and didn't say the important parts of, yes, Riverstar, River Clan used to be like a very peaceful clan full of meditators and very friendly and kind, and like look at us now. Oh my god, because then like no one really believes Frostpaw, and that's so I know, and not everyone's gonna believe Frostpaw. It's just oh my god, it's like that's expected. Like Sky Clan's already very on River Clan's side, and they're still out in the book. But oh my god, typical like frustration for me. Yeah, and there's there's just a bunch of like cats talking like, oh, we don't know if if Splash Tail will get the 9 lives and stuff, and I was just like, and like in the prologue, it's really that a very interesting thing where he just does not want the 9 lives at all. Like Curlfeather, she also really does not like StarClan, but she would happily take the 9 lives. But Splash Tail over here is like, nah, I don't need lives. Like, I'm strong enough. I don't need any gifts, any offerings from these dead cats. And he was just stalling. And instead of ultimately lying about getting his 9 lives, you just kind of was like, yeah, I'll get it later. Like, I don't, and it's just not gonna work. Like these cats are really religious. They're not gonna allow you to break such a sacred code. It would raise too much suspicion. So I don't know. It was so dumb of him. There was some yeah, there, because all the cats are like, oh, what? I mean, they probably won't get his 9 lives. And Frostbite here thinks it's because, oh, he's scared. He probably, he's gonna get rejected. But it's so interesting because he doesn't want to get it at all. I never expected that outcome to come at all. Oh, I want that discussion where it's like, oh, you didn't get your 9 lives. I saw you. It's because you're scared of StarClan. Nah, I just don't respect StarClan. That would be such a bombshell for these cats. Okay. And Night Power is such a good point. Because even though that all the, like, non-Star Clan, like, believers are kind of, like, mostly villains, like, Night Power is such a good point about the, like, the credibility of Star Clan. So just, like, they're not as wise as they claim to be, but that's common, like, Warriors mistake. Warriors, every issue. Okay. Oh, shoot, I don't think it's Night Path. I think it's Ivy Pool. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm not so sure about that. Ivy Pool's voice was grim. What about Broken Star, or the first Tiger Star? It's clear StarClan doesn't have a problem giving 9 lives to murderous cats as long as the clan's previous leader is dead. Squirrel Star winced. That may be true, but I'd like to think that RiverClan's ancestors could speak up to prevent it, though. So it was just like, everyone else's conflict regime is like, oh, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, why would Splash Star become Splash Star, But it's just like, this position. It's another one. This is just, there's some interesting mistakes I noticed in the book that kind of caught me off guard. I've seen it before. When the first Tiger Star led Star Clan, the whole force was caught up in a war. And now Podlight barely listens to what I'm trying to teach him. This is from Mothwing. Mothwing, I don't even think she was alive when the first Tiger Star was in power. She hasn't even met her father. Even in ghost form, with the whole the Great Battle, Great War, hasn't really even seen him. She's seen her brother, and that's it. She has no connection. That's such a just a nitpick of the continuity. There's also something else, but I didn't realize it was a mistake till I heard other people talk about it. But I just thought that I was just like misunderstanding. But in Sunbeam's point of view, we got Nightheart's thoughts. And I was like, what POV is this? Because they were both there together doing a little mission. And I thought it was Sunbeam's view because it started with like, oh, Sunbeam did walk to them. And then, yeah, just that was an error. And I didn't realize it till Ever pointed it out. Oh my god, Sunbeam's point of view were always one of my favorites. The point of view between characters always differs from books. Like, they always have something, like, Frostpaw used to be my least favorite, and Nightheart used to be my least favorite, but, like, something I loved, like, reading between the parental drama between her mother, Berryheart, and her. I think Berryheart is one of, like, the most realist and, like, best Warriors villains. And that's why Sunbeam POV was so great. Because we just got these, like, we got these great dialogue, great discussions between kin. But in this book, it's mainly about, Sunbeam's whole drama is, yeah, we gotta help Nightheart because Nightheart is helping Frostpaw, or I gotta sneak out and see my parents. But most of her chapters were like, now there wasn't a lot of seeing her kin that was exiled. It was mainly just, I'm gonna sneak out, get a little scene of these interacting, and then you start over. Like, sneak out again, get in trouble, Frostpaw mission. Yeah, these books always, the POV, like, I can't even consistently say which one's my favorite, because throughout the books, they always alterate to just something. Nightheart didn't really do anything at all in this one either. What did Nightheart do? It was like, yeah, Nightheart suffered from this from the POV as well. It was mainly I gotta help Sunbeam, and then Frostpaw. I gotta help Frostpaw. It was just like I'm gonna help the others. He didn't really have his own thing like he had before. Like his first arc, it was I need my own legacy, and that seems to be worked out. He's like, yeah, I'm proud. I'm okay with being seen as Firestar's kin because I've accomplished stuff. So that character arc, that's done. So he doesn't really have anything to do. What do I have written down? Oh my god. So Wasp and Waffle are staying at ThunderClan camp. And because they're complete newcomers and they're having the whole history of Warriors explained to them, there's so much of like, do you remember when that happened? Do you remember when the war happened, the Great Battle, the Great Storm? Do you remember Firestar? Do you remember SkyClan didn't used to be here? All that? And usually that happens, when they mention like something like, oh, we gotta like what if StarClan doesn't approve? It's like, well, last time this happened, insert outcome here. They always kind of like tell you what they're referring to. Just fair, there's like 50 something books in this. But I think this is like the most they've ever done that, where it's just like there was so much of just that happened, this happened, by the way, this happened. Like, they kind of explain stuff that happened in the past very briefly. Like, more than any other time that I remember. I need to get back to Wasp, because I have an interesting theory about Wasp. About where the book is going, but so Dustfur, Mothwing, and Icewing, they're all like part of the rebels. They're against Splashstar, and it seems like no one is really for Splashstar. To be fair, they're all just too afraid to speak up. So I don't know where this is like going. This is just an easy fix, at the gathering. Cat just need to speak up, but like, I don't know, he just seems like less of a threat. He seems like this arc in Splashtail seems like an easy version of Ashfur, like less stakes and all, more of a mystery, more like little plots. Like, I can't remember about the character development of the whole mystery and story, but I still like it. And I believe that the 4 contestants are the Exile that I mentioned before and Wasp for possible leaders. And those are the theories. I haven't really seen a lot of like, oh, Waspy could be the leader, but hear me out. Last book, Frostpaw needed to go to the park, meditate, realize all that stuff. And we don't really see who she picked out, but she said, yes, I have a clear leader in mind. I know now. But she said this in the park. Like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do now. After, like, she realized when the cat showed her, like, how to meditate and what she needed to, like, know. And because of how it's worded, that's why I'm convinced it's not going to be Frostpaw. Like, Frostpaw is not going to be leader. Like, that's not how you talk about yourself. And she doesn't seem worried. Like, Frostpaw used to be a very indecisive character. Not as much really in this book, but especially in the last book and throughout her entire arc, she was very indecisive. I don't think that she would definitely be nervous. I don't think that's just a proper. She was very calm and and also the way that's been presented, where we need a leader, but everyone else either doesn't want to be leader or does and is not cut out for it at all. Everyone in RiverClan, that is. And that's why I think Wasp comes in. Because Wasp seems like he could just be written out, but I would hope not. I hope that he has more stuff to do. He has so much RiverClan respect and loyalty or whatever, and he's not even allowed in. He really wants to, though. And he knows about Riverstar and is a very, like, I guess spiritual cat? Like, it cuts out. No one fits the criteria of being RiverClan leader. So I don't think it's gonna be in the clan, like, oh, he doesn't have like a apprentice doesn't have any of that. I mean, neither does anyone else that's qualified. Like, they were running out of cats. Like, the good ones, like Hairlight. It was Hairlight, right? The deputy. She could have been a very good leader. She's dead though. Like, we're running out of cats, and Mothwing does not want to be a leader. It would be very interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think it'd be a very interesting part of her character for a cat that doesn't really approve of StarClan to be in a leader position. That's so interesting. But I feel like they wrote her out. She doesn't want to be leader. The last time we had a leader that didn't want to be in it was 1 star, and that didn't go that well. I don't like that. I want a leader that actually wants to be a leader, but it doesn't seem like there's many cats that fit the criteria of. Her arc, in the last book, she was talking about how she felt so relieved and happy that she didn't have to be a medicine kid. That was put on her. That wasn't her. That wasn't something that she dreamed of. That was her mom saying, "Hey, your destiny's to be a medicine cat," and that was all manipulated. But because of how the plan set up, she wasn't born to be a medicine cat. It wasn't her destiny. But because of how things are turning out, it is now. She's getting really powerful and true visions. And but she still wanted to be a warrior. She was happy. She was conflicted. It'll be interesting since we have medicine cats that don't do the prophecy part, don't have the visions. Why don't we have like a medicine cat that doesn't do, the medicine, but is like a messenger, has the prophecy, has the messages, has the visions, but can still kind of be a warrior. She's doing a lot of back and forth traveling. Hey, I have a message. Like an interesting world, like how Tree's a mediator. We could have Frostbite being the messenger, giving messages, having the prophecy. We don't have any cats of visions in RiverClan right now. With true visions, Twilight's a fraud, and that's something that I would want to see very much for the next arc. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it comes true, because I really want warrior cats to explore unknown territory, to do something a bit different with their characters, with their, with just something different that isn't like what they've done for like what they kept doing for like 50 books. And thank you so much for listening to my little review rant and predictions for leaders and for this book. Thank you. I don't have to close this off, I guess. Bye-bye.